What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be going over a brand new hero tier list. Now we've added a couple columns here to the new tier list. A couple things have changed, and a couple formatting's kind of messed up when I went to do a print of this too. Of course, there's always going to be a link in the description, but I want to go over a couple new columns here. We of course have Sea Lane 21 now to 30. We have Aspen Dungeon Purgatory list on here, and we also have Star Expedition bosses here too. Now, one thing I didn't include with this list was going to be a void campaign, because it's just for what, 8-9 heroes right now, so it's like, was there really a point talking about that? No, we'll do a separate tier list, I think, for void campaign, because that's really important between artifacts, heroes, all that fun stuff. So let's jump right into it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're about to hit 75,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. Let's get going. Okay, so as you guys can see, the tier list is pretty much the same. We've had a couple changes. Of course, we have, I think there's like 3 new heroes in this list compared to our old one, which includes, I think, Transcendence Holmes Young. Of course, we have Freya and her Mystic Fairy Freya versions. And then, as you guys see, we've added a couple new columns here, and those are weighted into their overall scores. Now, one thing that's kind of changed is that Fairy Queen Vessa's really bumped up in power, and some of the other heroes that aren't Transcendence did bump down in power, mainly because of their non-use kind of in Aspen Dungeon Purgatory versus, that kind of, it does have a significant weight to it. Even it's not like super weighted, because it's not important to get Aspen Dungeon Purgatory done right now, but you can get bonus rewards out of it, so I figured we would add that into the late game and overall score. Same with Star Expedition. That one goes a little bit more into the late game. Yes, you do fight it in the earlier games, which I want to go over too, because a lot of these, I was only going to put it for like the main heroes, like, the Fairy Queen Vesta, Eos combo, with, of course, like carries and stuff like that, which I think, where is Carrie anyway? Carrie gave her like a 9 because she's a supporter. Kind of helps you kind of figure out what you're doing. For those of you who are looking at this at the first time, the check marks over here give a little bit of a weight to their overall score. Both support and Transcendence Tenant both go into a multiplier to give them a little bit of a bump, because usually a supporter is not going to get as high of a score compared to the main damage dealer on a team, but it helps you kind of weigh out and decide who's a support. Plus, it's a nice indicator, like, oh yeah, Rogan's a support hero, so I'm not going to make him my main damage dealer or something like that. So we did add into this list Mystic Fairy Freya as a supporter. Gave her a pretty good score in Sea Lane 21 to 30, mainly because her dodge effect is really, really important for making any progress past like Sea Lane 28. She's not that great in Aspen Dungeon Purgatory. I've kind of felt the same way about Scarlet Queen Halora, so that's kind of what, kind of balanced it out a little bit here. The one thing is, Purgatory, there's a couple heroes that just really stand out by the way they work. The thing with the Aspen Dungeon Purgatory is you need a minimum of like 2140 speed just for like the first 30 levels, and then after that you need even more speed. Honestly, like 2200 should be the goal of anybody using a hero in Aspen Dungeon. Be warned though, outside of the Transcendence heroes, we have not had much experience with these heroes, so I've kind of gave them a little bit lower of scores. I've seen some people use Amun-Ra's versus the healer ways. I don't really think that's necessary. One thing you'll find too is Star Alchemist Holmes Young kind of feels like the worst of the Transcendence heroes right now. I know a lot of people don't like Freya, Mystic Fairy Freya, but she at least has some uses, I feel like, compared to Star Alchemist Holmes Young. And as you see, I just dropped a bunch of ones in here, except for Sherlock. So that is going to affect their overall score compared to Transcendence heroes. But until we actually have data for it, I figured I'd put them at least with a low score. It might have been better just putting dashes for non-Transcendence heroes and non-usable heroes. I might consider doing that in the future, but it really does help weigh out the fact that Transcendence heroes are the future of this game, and non-Transcendence heroes are going to be supporters and Tenants. And they're not even going to be supporters in all the game modes because we have things like Void Campaign now that are pretty much just saying, yeah, you can only use these heroes and that's it. So I'm really hoping we get more support heroes from the Transcendence faction moving forward, because we already have some of the best damage dealers in the game already from the Transcendence faction. Big AoE with Eos, big single target damage with Sword Flash. Vesa kind of does a little of everything. We could use more support heroes to especially help. And then if we do, I'm going to make a similar tier list of this for Transcendence heroes, a little bit more accurate for the game modes that they are relevant in. But overall, I think not much has changed from our previous one. I do think some heroes have gotten a higher score. Weirdly enough, I don't know why, Lord of Fear Aspen seems weird to be this high up. I did give him a bit of a Star Expedition rating too, just because, I mean, all Transcendence heroes can do good amount of damage if you have the right setup. Of course, the way to go is Osis with a bunch of carries, which again is why carry got such a high grade right here. PvP we could probably drop her down in, but when we're talking about more than just 6 hero lineups, the revive does come in and play and actually has like a significant purpose. Rogan and Drake have dropped down on the list, though. Those are the two notable ones. Even Xiaoho too, the double panda team, because I mean, you never use one panda. You always use 2 pandas. But I think the big difference is Rogan and Drake used to rank higher into like the Transcendence tier until we had Star Expedition and Aspen Dungeon Purgatory. Now, C-Lane 21 to 30, still kind of relevant. They can be used. They're not like the best heroes. Like, you know, Rogan's not the best supporter versus like Xiaoho or like Olivia, but he can still be usable. Drake, I mean, the big thing I think is Aspen Dungeon being more weighted, because Rogan just does horrible in Aspen Dungeon. Drake never been that great. And again, I haven't seen anybody use a fully powered up Drake just yet. He could be really good, but he doesn't seem like he has the power of, say, like a Sword Flash. So that did knock their scores down quite a bit. Really, there's nobody in the top 10. What are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, they still made in the top 10. And I think the one big thing people notice is kind of weird to see that I have Holmes Young at a higher rank than Star Alchemist Holmes Young. And it's weird because there's things that he's good at. There's things like, you know, C-Land 20 that Holmes Young is actually good at. You can still be relevant in C-Lane 21 to 30 that Star Alchemist Holmes Young, not really as impactful. He turns into a damage dealer versus a crowd control type hero, and that doesn't really do good when he doesn't do his job amazingly. You guys might disagree. You might want to rank him higher. I mean, that's purely up to you guys. But let me know what you guys think about this list. I am thinking about just putting dashes for the heroes that we just haven't experienced in Aspen Dungeon. That will bump their score up a little bit. Of course, if you're getting down to the bottom of this list, you really don't want to build these heroes unless they are a Transcendence tenant and you absolutely need them. That is really their only purpose. But besides that, let me know what you guys think. And I can make some changes on the next one that we'll do again in about 3 to 4 months. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys think. Link is in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. We'll be right back.